Let's bring in our panel of experts to discuss. Seamus Bruner from the Government Accountability Institute. Also with us, State Chair of the Delaware Republican Party, Julianne Murray. Seamus, I'll start off with you first. First, it was, I don't know anything about my son's business. I mean, he has said that numerous times since he was running for president. Then they are saying, oh, Joe Biden was not in business with his son. Now we see Hunter CC'd on emails where Biden is using a fake name to speak with the president of Ukraine. And then, of course, you have the IRS whistleblowers that they're detailing that he was on at least almost 24 phone calls. We've got bank records. We have LLCs. There's even meetings. So, I mean, 1 + 1 = 2 at this point, no?
Yeah, Lydia, it's great to be with you. This is a huge development. I mean, much is being made about the fact that Joe Biden is using a pseudonym, but what's actually even bigger than that is the details of this call that he forwarded to Hunter and only Hunter. This call with President Poroshenko in May of 2016 is effectively the payoff call for the you're not getting the $1 billion unless you fire the prosecutor. Well, that all took place in the spring, earlier that spring, when Joe Biden threatens to withhold $1 billion. Well, they fire the prosecutor in March. They seek a new prosecutor. Joe Biden's calling Poroshenko pretty regularly through March, April, and May of 2016. And by May, this call with Poroshenko, if you read the details of what Joe Biden says to him, he says, basically, great job. You fired the prosecutor, and now you can get the $1 billion. And so what does that mean? When Joe forwards this to Hunter, effectively he is telling Hunter, it's done. We've done what Burisma needed. Like the timeline here is really crazy. Devin Archer testified a couple weeks back that in December of 2015, he's in Dubai with Hunter, with Mykola Zlochevsky, the head of Burisma, and another Burisma executive. And this is where Archer says they had to call Washington, i.e. call Joe. And they call Joe and say, we need this prosecutor gone. That's December 2015. Spring, Joe is threatening to withhold $1 billion. By May, they fire the prosecutor, and now Joe says you're getting the $1 billion. And then he forwards it to Hunter. It closes the loop on the whole prosecutor $1 billion scandal. And it shows Joe is totally involved right through the end of it. And
yet they want to charge Trump with RICO and conspiracy theories. I mean, Julianne, what do you make of this whole two-tier justice system? I mean, we're seeing clear cut, as you just heard Seamus mention, we're seeing the IRS whistleblowers, and I've mentioned so much evidence that clearly Joe Biden was up to no good, and yet the American people, a lot of them, they don't know anything about it. The media won't even cover it. And then when they do cover it, say Joe Scarborough from MSNBC, he's like, oh, there's no connection to Joe Biden whatsoever. This is just a Republican ploy, a distraction. What do you think?
Well, as an attorney, it disgusts me. As a chair of a party who is an attorney, it motivates me. I want to get the word out. I mean, what is beautiful about this is that there's a paper trail. We've always thought there was a paper trail. What's happening now is slowly but surely it's getting out there. And, the idea that Joe Biden used a pseudonym, not a surprise at all. But, the arrogance to have an email like this out there. So what I'm happy about is that it's slow, but it does seem to be steady. And I think that, the evidence is there. They're going to keep pushing at it. And eventually there's just going to be so much that they're going to have to do something about it. Right now, granted, the mainstream media is complicit. They're not sharing the story. But if it gets bad enough and it's coming out that way, even they are going to have to get on board and start talking about this. But, the two-tier system.
We're running out of time. So real quick, I want to ask you both 30 seconds each. I mean, Julianne, do you think we'll finally find out the truth?
Yes. What's going to be done about it is, has yet to be determined. But yes, I think they're going to keep digging. And I do think that it's going to come to a head. I do.
And Seamus, what about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we know the truth. I mean, all we can add to at this point is some color to the story. But we know that Joe Biden changed U.S. policy to benefit his son's business. And we know that there's allegations from the head of Burisma that Joe Biden took bribe money. That's an impeachable offense.
So we've got the truth. Now the question is, will they face justice? Will their justice be served? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Thank you so much, Seamus and Julianne.